Recorded live with little or no editing, it's Defense Up. I'm Run7. How you doing? We grade on 5 different criteria: who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. And since these videos have been running a bit long lately, I've been switching so that we're going to put the team descriptions down in the description. You can read through there if there's something you're looking for. Just slide the bar over to whichever team you want to find out information, or else you can just hang out and watch the whole thing. It's kind of fun. But be sure to like and subscribe if you do enjoy the video. And if you have any ideas that I miss or I make a mistake or something, please let me know in the comments, because not only is my favorite thing listening to people correct me, I also actually like to theory craft and come up with new ideas. So if you've got a new idea, write that down there in the comments. All right. Justice sent me this look at his or her, I'm not sure, their defense, and this is one of the biggest and one of the best defenses that we've ever had on Defense Up. We're going to see if we can find some mistakes, but Justice takes war defense very seriously. They're probably in a big alliance, I imagine, judging by the size of some of these teams coming out. And I'm really excited to go over this one because there's some interesting stuff here. So let's check out team number 1 is AIM team. Now, when I first came across this and looked at it, I went, oh man, this is hot trash. Everything's done wrong here. Look at this. But then I got to thinking about it. Now check this out. Instead of Assaulter, they went with Researcher over here. Now Researcher adds a speed up feature just like Assaulter. Well, not just like it, but a similar speed up function to the team on one of her moves. You've got a heal factor over here. So you've got healing from this character, healing from this character. These are all set as healer ISOs. So there's a ton of healing, which means that when this character taunts, the the aim security taunts, and they have to go into them, there's Fortifier on them, making them that much tougher, and a lot of rejuves that are going to be popping off above their head, keeping them topped up, keeping them above that 75% threshold so that they can throw back all those negative effects. Don't you dare come into this team with anything that's throwing negative effects, because they're going to really stick it to you. Now, this is considered a trash defense. This is a bottom of the roster kind of defense. AIM still has value in certain game modes. Well, I wouldn't say certain game modes, more like campaign. They have some value there. And there was a big debate over whether it should be Assaulter or Researcher. I built Assaulter, and I think that was a bad choice. I think Researcher is the way to go with this team if you have some reason to build this team, and new players do not build this team. There's better ways to get through those campaign nodes. However, I love that they went with Healer on Monstrosity, because Monstrosity doesn't put out that much damage. Doesn't really feel like it anyways. But Monstrosity is going to be taking some turns because of the speed up kind of effects that are happening from Researcher, and I just started thinking about this build, and I really like it. I think it's unusual, but it's effective, and it's a trash team, so they're not wasting any resources for the most part. You got green ISOs 3. Well, you got some 4s over here. Not a big deal. That gives them the health boost. At least it's not 5. I wouldn't put ISO 5 on this team. You got 300 level power. So you're going to have to come into this with something. But it's like a warm-up team. But it could be underestimated. You're going to have to come into this team with something that doesn't use negative effects. And you're going to have a hard time finding a punch up with the trash on your roster. So you might end up having to use a synergized team and kind of waste them on this defense. So that's a really good thing. So right off the bat, I see an A. I don't have any problems with the placement. I think the ISO arrangement is unique, but very useful. I like the people you're using. It's a great team. All right. Team number 2. Crofty's probably hating me already because I'm so positive about this. Team number 2 is a Wave 1 Avengers. Again, almost everything is right with this team. You've got good power levels. You could put a little more juice into the Hulk. I would like to see the Hulk and Thor trade places. Actually, I would like to see Captain America, then Hulk, then Black Widow or Thor, your choice. Black Widow goes under stealth and stops those chain attacks, but I kind of like having her here, because when splash damage would come off of the Hulk that should be here, it hits her and it puts charges on Thor. It gets Hulk sped up, stuff like that. So I kind of like it. I like Captain America, Hulk, Black Widow, then Thor, and then Hawkeye. Hawkeye for me is kind of a primary target because I hate those blinds. They're annoying. You can't blind him because of his attack, his what is it? His aim, you know, he doesn't miss. He doesn't miss. Also, you got 7 red stars on him. Not that that means you should build the character up, but if this team is finding any kind of effectiveness in war, it doesn't hurt to put a little bit more on him. I think he's going to have a good resistance check against some of the negative effects that are going to be flying towards this team. I like Thor as a raider, not a striker. I see a lot of people putting him as a striker. Not for me. He does AoEs and chain attacks. His passive is an AoE. Not that I don't think that's going to proc a vulnerable, but it's still. I just like him as a raider instead of a striker. And then you have skirmisher and skirmisher. This should probably be skirmisher striker. Your choice which way you go with that. Whatever you think is getting it done for you. They call assists off of each other, and you can get some triple hit combos in there. So we've got some tweaks to this team, but it's looking pretty good. It's in the ballpark. We're gonna give it a B. It's got a decent enough power level. Maybe a B minus, considering what we're gonna be seeing later in this lineup. This is a pretty small team comparatively to what's coming up. So. Yeah, B minus. Let's get the placement fixed. Let's change that ISO. Maybe one of these ISOs. You haven't overinvested in these players yet, so changing that ISO isn't going to cost you much. Unfortunately, changing the Thor ISO is a bit of a waste. Maybe just keep him as a striker if that's what you want. All right. Team number 3 is a Merc team. This is Mercs with Ultimus. At this level, you kind of have to go Ultimus because everybody's going to be using Skilletary on the Mercs. Anytime your Mercs go over about 400k, it kind of becomes a Skilletary problem. Putting Ultimus in there really messes with the Skilletary team, and Red Guardian especially. Okay, I think we could adjust the placement a little bit. Yeah, let's go Taskmaster, Lieutenant, Riot Guard, Korath, and then Ultimus. I think that would be a little bit more effective. I think that you should change Riot Guard to a striker. I know he only attacks like less than every other turn, but you've got a big investment in your Taskmaster. You're going to get more value out of that. Getting a triple hit combo. You got a big investment in him. You're going to get, you know, if somebody's already got slow or somebody doesn't, I don't know. The slow thing is a nice thing to be placing if somebody resists it or something. A little more damage out of him as a striker. You don't have Shuri on this team, so I think Lieutenant is good as a healer. When Shuri's on this comp, then you put him as a striker. Again, he's only attacking every other turn, but you get a lot of value out of this Taskmaster as a skirmisher. As is, you've only got one Merc as a doing that triple hit combo off of. Although Korath is the man, he's fast, and that's about it. But he's fast, and that's good on this team. He throws out that ability block, and that's pretty good. Again, you're not having the X-Force come into this team, so if you've got a different Merc that you want to try in there at this power level, that's, you know, it's okay to try it, because this is really your resistance against that X-Force team. So I would like to see some tweaks in the placement and some tweaks in your ISOs. Otherwise, this is a very troublesome team. I'm going to give you a B for it. All right, here we go. This is a Doom hybrid team. That's all there is to it. This team is designed to keep people from getting to Doom in time. You've got Sue in here that powers up Doom a little bit more. You've got Ghost in here because she doesn't have a team worth building or any place to go. It's just kind of a plug-and-place dodgy character. She's extending negative buffs. However, there's not a lot of really good negative buffs that she's going to be extending on this team. Red Guardian is, well, he's, you know, you invested in him probably for that Skilletary team, and then, you know, we found other pre-taunting tanks come out that are better. He kind of got eclipsed. The Skilletary team is kind of falling off right now because people are building this Merc defense, which puts the Ixnay to them. So this is where you put him on a hybrid, right? A hybrid build. If I was coming into this defense, I would probably use something like a Hella Hydra team. Zemo strips the taunt off of Red Guardian, places an ability block on probably, I would say, Invisible Woman, and then Hela spreads that ability block to the rest of the team, hopefully landing on Doom. But if anybody passes a resistance check on that opening debut, the team folds. So it's still a very troublesome defense. It's got a lot of RNG involved in it. One of the biggest issues I have with this team is that you have 2 strikers, nobody placing vulnerable. Nobody placing vulnerable. Invisible Woman, you have her as a fortifier because you really want her to make it to where she puts Doom under her invisibility, right? And okay, that's a strategy. I'm not gonna dock you for that. That's a good way to go. I think that maybe changing her to a skirmisher might be okay if you decide to run her back on her team with the Fantastic Four, maybe like She-Hulk on defense, because haha, we all like to make fun of that. She works pretty good as a skirmisher, so in other game modes you might find value with that ISO. This is fine though. You just need to get somebody putting some vulnerables out there. Maybe take Ghost off of this team and put somebody else in here, somebody that's like a raider or something. I don't have any advice for you on who. Maybe Chad will give me some ideas, but you could put somebody else in here. I'm just not thrilled with this team. I think you can do better. I just think that there's a better version of a Doom hybrid than what we're seeing here. It's good. You're not doing too many things wrong. Placement's fine. Power levels are fine. There's a strategy to it. It is a troublesome defense. You might come into this with Shadowlands, maybe. No, Shadowlands would be screwed up by Red Guardian. No, it's kind of a hella Zemo thing. But it's okay. I'm gonna give you a B for it. It doesn't excite me as much as the rest. Team number 5. Oof. 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 Everybody, this is what you should be building. This is what you should be building right here. We used to have Crystal in here as the 5th because she has that like heal that keeps this team alive and everything. But Crystal's old hat, right? Not really getting it done. No one wants to invest in Crystal. But Deathpool on defense right here. This is where Deathpool goes. Think about it. Just think about what she's doing with this team. And getting rid of Crystal means that this combo is always happening. That assist combo with Black Bolt and Yo-Yo, it's like always happening. She's going to be giving energy to Surfer and only Surfer, and a lot of it. Like, so Surfer's going to be ulting every other turn, throwing out those ability blocks like crazy. You've got Coulson in here really built up with that Raider. He's going to be popping off early, throwing out some damage. He's got a little bit of synergy with Yo-Yo, of course. Black Bolt is Black Bolt. You've got 7 red stars on him. At 7 red stars, this fully invested Black Bolt, go ahead and start putting a blue ISO on him. Just remember, if you're going to go to the high levels of Striker, you've got to have the high levels of Skirmisher. You've got to have double vulnerables. The only thing that's putting in double vulnerables is Skirmisher level 3. So there's no point in going Striker level 3 unless you have a Skirmisher level 3. And I don't know if Yo-Yo is worth that kind of investment, but getting a little more damage output out of your Black Bull, I mean, come on, why not, right? Just bring him up to ISO level 2 or something like that. This is a sick defense. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's kind of new. We haven't, Deathpool's a new character, so we haven't seen this build. I think it's an uptick on the previous version. The previous version was obviously a hybrid, and now we've taken it to another level. I really dig this. I'm going to give you an A+ for this one. All right. This is one that I love too. We got another winner here. You see what we've done? We've broken apart the Marauders, which are getting countered to hell and back. We've got the Sinister 6 team, which is just fallen off so hard, but you took the only thing that's good about that team and you put them over here with Jubilee, Bishop, and Beast. This is a nightmare team. This is a nightmare team. Look, you've got Deflects popping off from Doc Ock onto Bishop, and Deflects on Emma. Emma doesn't really need those Deflects, we know, but hey, why not? In fact, you might consider putting Jubilee here in the center spot. That way Jubilee is getting some of those Deflects, or Beast. Either one of these two would probably be better served in here. Emma's just so tough that I don't think that's going to happen. Really, this is going to be This is going to be kind of tough because you have a multitude of targets. You have a pre-taunting tank screwing up your opener. You want to get rid of Doc Ock so you can soften up these other targets, but it's almost not worth it because Doc Ock is so tough to kill. Also, he's healing like crazy. She's healing like crazy. Beast is healing like crazy. Jubilee's blinding. This is just such a nightmare team. The only two changes, I think you should swap either Beast or Jubilee in the placement with Emma. And I think that you should change Beast to a skirmisher because you've only got the one skirmisher with Bishop. Now, on the AxMen team, I'm seeing a lot of people switching it over to Bishop as a striker, everybody else is a skirmisher, so you get those combos off of Bishop. Bishop's the damage dealer on the team, and you're maximizing what he does. He's always going to be doing the triple tap kind of thing. And when Bishop is killing people faster, it gives more turn meter to Beast, and Beast is going to be healing more. So instead of using the healer ISO, he's going faster and healing more often, and it kind of balances out. Yeah, this is just a sick team. I love this. I want to do this on my defense. So, I mean, a lot of people still use the AxMen on offense. That's kind of a thing too. But man, I really like this defense. You could do some tweaks, so I'm going to give you the A. If you did those tweaks, make him a skirmisher to put a few more skirmishers out there, and then swap places so that one of these two is getting those deflects, because these are kind of your softest targets here. Get one of those two receiving the deflects, and then you would have an A+ team for that. But as is, I'm going to give it the A. Team number 7, Heroes for Hire. It's an A. What do you want? It's an A. We all know this team. I hate this team. I hate it so much. It's annoying. It's ruining war for us right now. You've done everything right. This is exactly how you should build the team. This is the exact placement. Your power levels are above and beyond what it needs to be for most players. However, at your level, you're going hard on this team. For your sake, I hope that Weapon X isn't a hard counter because you've invested a lot in this team, and it'd be sad to see him fall off so much. But for my sake, I hope Weapon X is a hard counter because I'm gonna go hard on that team, and I hate your team. So yeah, you get the A for this. You're doing everything just right. Good job. Team number 8 is Infinity Watch. This is another boring team for me. We see healer here instead of striker on Moondragon. I like striker. It's a coin flip of which one you should be doing. Great investment. I mean, you built them way up because they're the arena team. They are the arena cookie cutter team. That's what we're doing. I can't argue placement. Let me try. So we have Nebula, right? The way I attack into this team is I go basic, special, basic into Phyla-Vell, then I hit auto, and then when Phyla-Vell dies, I either switch to Nebula or Moondragon, depending on who has defense up, who has defense down, that sort of thing. And then once one of them is dead, I go for the other one. I like to go for Nebula because of the combo, right? I like to go for Nebula, but sometimes Moondragon has defense down, and so I just go for her for a quick kill. She is actually easy to kill quickly. And then I just go make a sandwich and let Auto finish the match for me because it doesn't even matter. Like, she'll throw up a taunt when she gets low. It doesn't even matter. Or I mean, she'll throw a taunt up on somebody else because she's chicken shit and she runs away from everything. You have a big investment in Phyla-Vell here. So coming into this team, I might change my strategy and go after Nebula first, and then come back after Phyla-Vell. Try and lower their damage potential, and then go after Phyla-Vell. And then I just be very conscious of what attacks I'm using and what I'm saving for later. Because this team, the way the AI plays it, they kind of peter out damage-wise. Like they're using all their big attacks when your team is dodging or has defense up. And so if you save your big attacks for afterwards when their evades are gone or when their defense up is gone, then you can really do some damage to them. So placement is kind of like, be weary of what you're attacking with. And, like Adam Warlock, he does some stuns that do adjacent stuns or can jump 2 characters to stun over there, something like that. You might be aware of that. but it's so minutiae, you know. I think it's great. I think you get an A. Again, this team and this team I hate on defense. They're just no fun. You know, it's like I got to use Infinity Watch into both of them, and they're no fun. But you're doing it right. This is what you do at the high levels, you know. So, if you have alternatives, by the way, there's 2 ways now to beat Heroes for Hire. 1, find a very small Heroes for Hire and go after them with a big hybrid punching down. 2, go after him with Infinity Watch. Otherwise, you got to look for a Heroes for Hire that doesn't have Shang-Chi and then punch way down with like a Black Order or something ridiculous. And even then, it's pretty dicey. So, if you like what you saw on Defense Up, then please like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. You can find me on Twitch Thursdays 9 to noon where we do this stuff live. And you can come yell at me and chat with all the rest of the people who are screaming at what a terrible job I'm doing grading these defenses. They like it when I get real angry, and I'm not angry today. I got a good set. Remember, guys, don't just have a good game. Be good to yourself and others, too. See you next time. Bye.